Alright, well without further ado, let's kick it off with Kirby Squeak Squad with SwordsmanKirby.
Alright, hey everyone, this is Squeak Squad 100%. With me on commentary is Mr. _ Shasta.
Hello, it's me.
Alright, so... Are we ready with the timer? Alright.
Oh, hey, other couch people.
Hi.
I guess it's part of the couch all of a sudden.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
We take those.
Alright.
Hee-ho.
Alright, I'll start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Nice.
Alright, so the first thing you're going to see me do is this... I guess would you consider this a glitch?
It's like an exploit, I'd say, in this case.
So
Close enough.
first off, sliding is faster than running. Each time you slide, you save some number of frames.
2 frames.
2 frames? Alright.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And you can also dash off ledges, and if you float up right as you go off, you preserve a lot of that momentum. And so this is fire. Combination of that, I guess, 2 abilities from the previous game, Amazing Mirror, which is, I guess, this burning part and also the fire part where you blow fire.
This is sort of the game where Kirby powers start combining into each other and get a lot more useful as one power instead of multiple powers that are similar to each other. Just like how it is in the Mario Kirby games. That's kind of where it all started.
Yeah, I guess also kind of a little bit to some extent Superstar, but these are very different games.
Oh yeah. What's I to get there is a bubble. That's the main mechanic of the game basically. We're gonna be using that a lot to get whatever powers we need for the most parts. This is gonna be really nice.
Right, and the bottom screen contains Kirby's sort of inventory, and it contains 5 slots. And 100% involves collecting all 120 chests in the game. And these chests also take up spots in the inventory. So, unlike an 80% run where you don't have to pick up as many chests, in 100% you're a lot more constrained, and you'll have fewer bubbles to work with.
We're gonna hear a jingle a lot, by the way. This is 100% we get every chest in the game, which is up to 120. And in an 80% run, you skip most of that, you don't hear the little jingle at the end, which saves some time, but 100% you see all of them. So get used to that.
Alright, so coming up on our first mini boss, Mr. Frosty.
Mr. Flossie.
Mr. Frosty. I want him to just stand in place and not charge at me. So that was pretty good luck there.
Nice.
And so the bubbles are just sort of like an inventory system. You can activate them pretty much whenever you want. And right here we're going to switch to a Squeak Squad exclusive ability called Animal.
Let's switch on back to fire after that.
Yeah, allows us to dig through dirt. So right here is a little trick. I'm going to spell out this chest while grabbing the other chest. And normally a very long cutscene plays that introduces all the squeaks. But for some reason, if there's like another chest on the screen, it'll only play the short cutscene that normally plays with most levels that involve the squeaks.
Forgot about that trick.
Yeah.
You actually also use ammo to dive over that chest if you wanted to, but that doesn't really save time in a 100% run because you need that chest.
Right. So 1-4, pretty much just go through it with fire. Oops. Alright, here's a little bit of a movement thing that's common to a lot of Kirby games. Avoiding face plants. So when Kirby falls from too high of a height, it has a tendency of face planting. And for like lots of different things could happen depending on the game you're playing, but normally you want to try avoiding it, just to, I guess, do an action immediately instead of waiting for the face plant to run out. And we did that by blowing the fire a little bit to sort of reset our height. Okay, so this is Storo. All we're doing here is just sort of getting into the stun lock. And after a while, he'll, right here, he's going to fall asleep. Gotta break the exit first. And I don't know, half the time he'll fall asleep for even longer. So it's just like a 4-second, like either you get or you don't random event.
Yeah, thankfully, he also gives you health when he falls asleep like that. If you just keep hurting him. This game is really generous with lives and health, so it shouldn't really be a problem. But yeah, it's just something to note.
Yeah, as you can see in the goal games, what you get in them are random, but a lot of times the game will give you food there.
Something interesting to know as well too is there's actually a 5-frame window of fire the cannon upwards, like on all those goal games, which saves a little bit of time if you can get them. But really just want to like hit that as fast as you can after each level. Oh, here's Tornado. It's most overpowered ability in this game.
Yeah, I want to say that this was the first Kirby game where Tornado was able to break through regular blocks.
I think so.
Yeah.
Couldn't do a Nightmare in Dreamland at least.
Couldn't do an Amazing Mirror, which was the one right before this one, so this must be the first.
I guess so. Conclusions.
Logical deductions.
Exactly. Deducting deductions.
So this is high jump. It works very differently than the Nightmare in Dreamland one. Or Kirby's Adventure, I guess.
Yeah, for instance, you use it in midair after a certain amount of time. Also, you're invincible on start as well too, if you actually can get it off in time.
Right.
That's another thing about it.
Yeah, one thing about it is that you cannot cancel it like you can in Kirby's Adventure or Nightmare in Dreamland. So once you hit it, you have to ride out the full length of the high jump.
I don't know why they get rid of that. It was really cool seeing that. Oh well. Oh, each chest we pick up, by the way, contains certain items. Most of them. Oh, by the way, shortest level in the game, really quick, right here. This is a chest up there, then you unlock that. And bam. But yeah, each chest contains like certain items. Usually, you see them on the pause screen whenever you pause. Stuff like puzzle pieces, which unlock a puzzle. Different colors for Kirby, like different color palettes for your bomb screen, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's most of what we're getting.
Alright, so this is DD. Once again, all we're going to do is just get into a stun lock. And, oh, nice.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
That'll save some time, then.
Yeah, so right there I combined two of the bubbles, and it'll give me a completely random ability. And I want to say that, like, even though there are tons of abilities that sort of speed power-ups like Wheel, Tornado, or High Jump are seemingly slightly more likely than other ones. I don't know if you feel the same way, Shasta.
Yeah, I can see that. I get a lot of Cupid personally.
Yeah, I got a lot of Cupid, but at the same time, a lot of Wheel. So.
Yeah, Wheel's good too for that. I used to get a lot of Tornadoes, Wheels, and Cupid of all powers.
Okay. Yeah, so Wheel,
it's very OP in this game.
very, very overpowered.
So there's a little movement trick you can do with Wheel, where if you press A then B and hold down A again, you just get a really huge, very high quick jump, just off startup. It's crazy. You'll see that many times throughout the run. It's really great movement technique. Like that, see? Also, the fact that, coupled with the fact that Wheel is the fastest power in this game for movements, it just really stacks and makes it just the most useful power in this game to use for a speedrun. Also, the chest that SK just got there contains the Star Seal. There are 5 of them, and you need all of them by Emerald 6 to complete the game. Thankfully, since it's 100%, we'll be getting them, but just thought I'd mention that because it's required to beat the game.
See, I ran the game for like 2 months, not knowing about Star Seals, just because I'd only run 100%. So
yeah.
You need them to advance in the game, but I got them anyways because I was only running 100%.
I remember getting upset growing up playing this game because I didn't have all the Star Seals getting to World 6,
So
and
you're
it's
just
like,
stuck.
what is this? Why is there a door here? Let me through. It happens so much.
Yeah, so in my casual playthrough is like 100%, speed runs also 100%, so I did not know about these Star Seals until about a year after I first played this game. Alright, so combining 2 bubbles is one kind of mix that's, I guess, not really controllable. You also see a question mark bubble in my inventory, and there's also the classic sort of 2 enemy mix that you see in a lot of Kirby games. Maybe we'll see those later on, but question mark bubble mixes is a very essential part of this run. The question mark bubble allows you to select more options than you can with normal mixes. For example, you can get invincibility candy, or you can get the big star. And actually, I have 2 of them now.
Ideally, we get invincibility candy with these.
Yeah, so
push marbles.
yeah, so in 80% you want to, I guess, use the 2 bubble mix to get wheels and use question mark bubbles to get candy. It's a little bit different 100%.
Yep.
Pretty nice.
Nice.
So I actually want wheels or big stars for these.
Oh, cool.
I got 2 wheels. It's pretty good.
Wait, is the big star right before the wheel?
Yeah, it's right before the wheel. There's actually 2 instances of big star. But the one that I go for is the one right before wheel.
Oh, nice.
Just because, well, for World 3 I want one or the other, so I got 2 wheels. It's perfectly okay with me.
Okay.
So I managed to keep fire because I didn't need it for any of the 2 bubble mixes since I got wheel pretty much immediately. So I'm able to keep it a little bit for, I guess, a little bit of movement right after this mini boss. I guess if you didn't have fire, the normal way is to use that special ability called bubble.
Yep, that's what you do normally, which allows you to make your own bubbles for the bomb screen there. Have an enemy they encounter that has power.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Actually, even enemies that don't have power give you a star for that
right,
instead.
It's almost kind of like a mechanic in like the new Kirby game, almost. Not really.
Almost.
Almost. Alright, so I believe this is whoops, I gotta get first switch to wheel. This drill move with animal, I guess it must be something you get from one of the chests.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, so
it is.
One thing that you can get from chests are ability scrolls that give you upgrades to your ability. So
yeah, that's one. So right there, that drill move that SK has is one of those. Earlier, when you angle the fire upward, that's also a power you get from ability scroll as well. It just gives you an extra move that you can use with your powers. Like for instance, if you hit the sleep scroll, you can actually heal yourself completely if you fall asleep, instead of just like falling asleep and doing nothing, which makes it useful in this game. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah, surprisingly useful. Oops.
Like right here, for instance, we're gonna get the chest at the very end of this level, which contains the cutter scroll, and that upgrades your cutter ability. Makes it so you can like control it, like up and move up and down, all that, and also it gives it a way bigger cutter as well.
Yeah, it also
it's super cool.
Goes through enemies and stuff like that
yep.
as well. Yeah, so just like one level in each world is extremely short for some reason. This has like one chest at the very end of it.
It's like a challenge level or something.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm actually gonna end up with 4 wheels. The one that I'm carrying right now, and also 3 in my inventory.
As you can see, wheels mostly some power in this game.
Yeah, so
also, we have fire wheel now because we had the wheel scroll as well.
right.
Which basically makes it so if we go over like ice, fire, electricity, we become like that version of wheel. Basically, it does a little more damage, I think.
This I just want to spam cutter into this metal mini boss. Whoops.
By the way, this game is basically melee. There's crouch canceling.
Yeah.
So you actually use that to negate all damage and losing your power as well too. Actually, no, you still take damage,
you still take damage, but it's reduced, and also you don't lose your ability when it happens.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I've got so many wheel bubbles that I can actually use one here. Normally I don't have this many just because, well, you need to get both mixes, both question mark bubble mixes and mix for wheel just by the 2 bubble mix, but we don't. Since we got all 3 of those, I can just go skip ahead here with using one of the wheel bubbles. Yeah, I should mention these sort of Squeak Squad segments with this is Spinny. Basically, there's going to be some big chests, like the silver colored one in my inventory, and usually it's sort of like a little race between you and the Squeak Squads. And if you take damage from them, you actually lose a chest that you're currently holding.
Also, some chests, mostly those the bigger ones, they can sometimes save like a key for an extra level. That's what SK just got right there out of the big chest, which makes this level unlock in the first place. Give him their level to get more chests in. Basically.
I want that sword. The sword is actually quite a powerful ability. Take out this mini boss in 4 hits.
The only thing more powerful than the sword in this game is using the hammer right here and using its up attack. It's called like a hammer flip, if I remember correctly. That's the only thing that's more powerful, which in this case would kill a mini boss in 3 hits instead of 4 hits.
So there are these forks in some of these rooms. I don't think there's any like thing in the game that tells you which way you're supposed to go. Playing as casual, I guess you just have to proceed by trial and error. But down here, I have not only a candy bubble, but also I get access to this chest here.
This chest inside has golden wallaby, by the way.
I'm gonna be lame and just inhale it. Alright, so now there's this chest over here, but if you look at the bottom of my inventory, there's 5 things already in there. So it's a question of how to get that chest while keeping all these bubbles. Oops, give me that.
There we go.
Alright, and the solution is to hold one of the chests in your mouth and just exit the level. Normally in most Kirby games, if you try to go through a door or something in your mouth, you'll immediately spit it out before going through the door. But in this one, you're allowed to keep stuff, including chests, through the ends of levels. Alright, so we got Hammer now. This is a great ability for this upcoming boss, Mrs. Molly. As you can see, like just from one of these attacks. Whoops. Come back here. Oh, what?
What's she doing?
I don't know. I'm playing like crap though. Alright, she's probably just gonna die just from her own fall. Nice. Your mic off? Oh, it's okay.
I'll be fine. This came out of nowhere. I'm giving her sickness right now, so I'm sorry.
Ah, it's okay. Alright. Yeah, you can activate these bubbles in between levels as well, if you want. It's just for fun. So,
Thank you.
those question mark bubbles were used to get the right abilities for this part right here. So right now I have wheel. That's just for movement, I guess. And to get up here, I can actually break all these blocks with wheel jumps. And one thing that's really important or really useful is the ability to like turn around while in wheel form like this. It actually allows you to sort of
like stall your height while you're jumping.
Yeah, exactly.
Just so you can get a little bit higher in the air.
Alright, so getting fire just for this, and I can switch back to wheel. And now having wheel here is actually incredibly important. It allows us to get one chest in the next level in an unintended way. Oops. So that's like why we needed 2 wheel bubbles. Another thing that I could have had was 1 big star instead of a wheel bubble. And the big star allowed me to break the metal blocks as well, instead of switching to fire and then switching back to wheel. So that's actually the ideal situation. It's not even this level that I need wheel in, it's the next level.
All hail wheel, wheel is life.
So now we're coming up to an incredibly annoying mini boss. Well, not yet. First we gotta get this chest. Yeah, all we can, like, looks like it's blocked off, but all we do is just puff the bottom block, even though it's behind another block. Alright, so this is the annoying mini boss. This is Boxy. And one thing that Boxy can do is that it can just corner camp. This is actually okay. So that was actually a really good fight. But if it stands in the corner, it's really hard to hit. The only time you're really vulnerable with wheel is when you're turning around. And so imagine like something in the corner, it's just impossible to turn around. Alright, so this is a level that we actually need wheeling. I should have picked up that cutter bubble. That's okay.
I think I'm alive still. I'm sorry about
Good,
that.
good.
The cough won't go away.
So in here is the chest. Fairly straightforward. I should mention one thing about these like door transitions. You're invulnerable for a while after you go through a door, and that can be abused in a couple of different ways. Another thing you can do is that you can immediately buffer an attack. So right here I'm just holding B and it'll automatically set the wheel. And that's something that you don't find in most Kirby games. And the reason why I said that we need wheel here is that just to skip this part, get it through the door before it closes. Otherwise we would need something like bombs to sort of run to the door while the bomb hasn't exploded yet. But because we have wheel, we can just keep it throughout this entire portion here.
That sort of invincibility when we go through doors and transition and all that is really useful too.
Yeah.
As we're going through like quick rooms with enemies and things like that.
Alright, switching to fire right here. Blow this fuse.
I love it gets a separate hat when it goes inside of cannons.
Yeah.
It's a little army soldier and all that.
Again, gonna cancel the fall here by blowing the fire. Another, I guess, common way of doing it is to simply inhale if you don't have an ability. Alright, that was a really good mix. Getting that wheel mix saves quite a bit of time, and also in terms of routing a little bit later on. I'll point that out. You'll see that I have a mini bubble in my inventory. Mini is this cool ability that was in Amazing Mirror, but in this game it's actually sort of just a nuisance. The whole point of it is that if you collect 3 of them and combine them, I'm just going to get rid of it now, you get a 1-up. Since this is a speedrun, I don't expect to die, hopefully. So getting them is just a waste of inventory space and a waste of time trying to get rid of them.
If we get to $4,000 by the end of this run, it'll cure my sickness.
Please cure his sickness. It's very
Please.
important.
I'm dying, Squirtle.
Another one of these races.
That's very nice.
Yeah, the spacing of those like little green blob enemies is really annoying, so I just decided to just wait it a little bit. Alright, 3 extra.
Oh, it's this one. I love this one.
I'm just going a weird path to avoid that sword knight. Just playing that one safe. If you miss a chest, there are a lot of places where, for example, the chest can just fall into a pit and you can't get back. In which case, you'd have to reset the level. But in this game and with a lot of Kirby games, if you haven't beaten the level yet, you can't actually like exit out of it unless you reset. But a lot of the routing in this requires you to hold certain bubbles for many levels, so resetting is oftentimes not an option. And so, like, missing a chest is really, really bad. Like, you either have to beat the level again or something like that. In which case you, in some cases, there's one chest much later on in the run that's very easy to miss, and it will cost you like up to 2 minutes if you miss it. Oops, yep, there. Yeah, so little Squeaks, little mouse-like mouse enemies. If you bump into them, they also cause you to lose your chest, and they can steal it as well. No, just being a little bit careful there with the fire. Oops. Let's go do this. Go from this direction. Just to make it a little bit easier on myself. Alright, so now we're coming up onto the world or level 3 boss, which is Mecha Krako. Oops.
This boss is very quickly. It goes very quickly because he's invincible to candy for which absolutely destroys him.
I'm just standing inside of him with this candy. Ooh,
That was close.
I meant to try to. Ah, dang.
Ah, very close. If done correctly, you can kill before it goes off screen again.
Yeah, what I was trying to do is I was trying to use fire, but I accidentally blew fire instead of did the burning dash attack.
Well, that would be nice.
Yeah, like you can chain together more hits that way, but I almost died. So I'm just glad I didn't die.
Oh yeah,
To be honest.
that would be bad. I like this star right here, or this chest right here.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
I forgot you can do it that way though. You just stay on the ledge like towards that where
Yeah.
the door is and just like curve down
Yeah,
there.
so I believe that the way that I just did it is the intended way. And in speedruns, we had been doing it like from that ledge for a long time, and it's like really finicky. And I'm just surprised that I guess we collectively missed the intended solution. For
I guess
a while.
so. Now I don't know what high jump scroll really does. It gives you like a little ring around high jump.
It
That's really about
extends
it.
the hitbox, I think. And
I can see that.
Yeah.
That's really about it though.
it's. I don't know if it's because of that, but there's one part later on where I don't like the fact that its hitbox is extended, because it ends up like, because it's extended, you can pick up more stuff with it, and it causes you to pick up like a mini bubble, which is undesirable.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's because of the high jump scroll, or
It could be.
I
I'm not
don't
sure.
know. I don't know. I don't know what like half these upgrades do.
Fair enough.
Dude, nice. The gold game gave me a maximum tomato. So that wheel mix earlier in the previous roll was helpful just for movement in this part, but also allows me to save that tornado bubble I picked up right before the Krako fight. Oops.
With the speed of wheel and just wheel jumps right here, we're able to just get right to that platform while it's moving quickly away. That's really nice.
Yeah, and it's harder even if with a slightly worse movement option like tornado.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, luckily I got that wheel mix. So mixes in this game, the ones that you have control over, they're usually 4-frame windows. And so doing those, I should also mention that the order of abilities for the question mark bubble mixes is fixed, but the starting point is random. So you're essentially just reacting to the right abilities.
Oh yeah, what makes it more impressive is that, like I said before, where it starts is random, but like trying to see like where you are on that bubble, just from like memorizing like where, like which powers in which order is like part of what makes it so impressive and so hard to do.
Yeah.
It's definitely the hardest part of this run for sure.
Right. And like, I don't know, 4 frames like doesn't really sound like it's that bad, but when there isn't really a nice visual cue, it's tricky.
Takes a lot of practice to get it down for sure.
And also the only way that you can stop the mix wheel is to use the touchscreen. That's like another added layer of annoyance. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of this fire bubble.
One thing that makes things a little more tricky as well is the fact that there's only 5 spots in inventory on the bottom screen there, and there's 3 chests in most levels.
Right.
So you have to like route around just which bubbles you need at which times, and just so you have room for all 3 chests really in most levels.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to make sacrifices, like having not so great abilities for fighting certain bosses.
Oh yeah. Makes things interesting, that's for sure. Very interesting.
Oops. I don't remember this level at all, apparently.
Chest's music, by the way, it's from Kirby Air Ride. It's a remix for this game.
Yeah, once again, another fork.
Which you'll see after it's run, by the way, Kirby Air Ride.
Yeah. Kirby Air Ride No Deuce is the run after this one.
That'd be pretty good, too.
Yeah. I'll recommend that you all check that run out as well.
Kirby Block!
And speaking of Kirby's Air Ride, did you know that you could donate for Kirby's color? Because that bid war is still going on. Pink is in the lead at $100.
Yo.
Yellow is not too far behind though at 75, and brown is there at 36. White's at 5. But hey, somebody could put like $100 to white, and all of a sudden it's in the lead. So if you want to get your Kirby color choice, get your donations in now.
You know what I think you should vote for? You should go for whites, because everyone likes a good underdog story. That's what I say. Or if you want one thing to be immediately in the league, go for brown, because it now gives also $4,000, which would be a cool goal to hit during Kirby Block.
It would also cure Shasta of the sickness.
It would as well. I've been dying over here, coughing a lot.
Please don't let Shasta die.
Blame the Pax Plague.
Alright, so there are a lot of different ways of going to this level, and if you pick up this big chest, you have to fight the store at the very end of it. Again, this is the guy that falls asleep. Obviously, this guy's really massive, so. And there's also this electric fence thing behind you that you can lose your ability if you take damage there. So just being a little bit careful with wheel movement there. Yeah, there are a lot of, I guess, optional paths in a lot of these levels. Collecting pretty much every chest was one of those optional paths. Alright, yeah, I'll pick up. Should I pick that up? Yeah, sometimes things aren't really routed, aren't set in stone, just because the possibility is random 2-level mixes screwing things up. Yeah, let's try it.
I believe in the mix.
Ooh, whoops. Glad I didn't take damage. There are 3 chests in this level, so I need to drop something.
So try mixing the parasol in the bottom right there.
I'm already out of room.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice. That works.
In that case, I'll get rid of the tornado. Maybe I'll get rid of the sword. I'll get rid of the sword.
That's one cool thing about this run too, is that you can get power randomly like that. If you get something useful like a wheel, you have to figure out what to get rid of on the fly.
I'll get rid of sword.
There we go. Wait, do you not need that for the boss coming up?
I'm gonna just do tornado.
Okay. But the crash cancels though.
The crash. No, it's just that to me, I find the abilities that I have in World 5 to be more crucial than having sword for that.
I can see that.
Boss. Yeah. Plus, I like die like half the time I try using sword for the next boss.
That's fair.
I don't know. I'm not very practicing.
It's all good.
Right, another short level here. There's a lot of bubbles here, so we can do more mixes.
Hooray!
Basically, it's just a race to get to the bottom of this before that chest does. And, oops.
We have to wait for a chest too, so we got some time. Let's get down there.
Okay.
Oh, another tornado.
Nice, yeah.
Guess means you have to guess means you have to pick up the one come up here in that case.
Yeah. Or should I mix it? I don't know.
Oh!
I don't know. So many
You're
options.
playing dangerously here.
Yeah. Okay, I have space to mix them. I do want to keep one of them at least.
Alright.
Try it. Nice.
Yo, another wheel. Okay.
Dude, the luck in this run is insane.
We take those.
Yeah.
As you see, Tornado is really good. Tornado lasts for about, I think, 4 seconds.
Oops.
And you're completely invisible the whole time you're in it. So it's very, very good, as you can see.
Dude, how many wheels have I gotten this run? It's like
4, I think, at least. Just randomly. That's crazy luck.
I think I've gotten 2 random ones and 2 question mark bubble ones. That's really good. It's very crucial that I have wheel here or tornado here. Oops.
In a way, it's kind of a shame that wheel kind of just dominates a lot of movement in this game. It's just so good. But at the same time, it's really cool seeing you go fast with a wheel like this.
Yeah.
Just through everything.
So either wheel or high jump would be useful for this because it's a very vertical level.
Oh, it's just a little bit tricky coming up. Nice.
Yeah, I actually have no idea what the actual way of doing that.
I think you're supposed to use fire and just like turn around like that.
Oh, okay.
Instead of buffing out like you did.
The wheel's good for catching this one Squeak that's holding the chest. If you use something like high jump, it could get a little bit tricky because there are pits at the bottom of that room.
There's also a little bit of time once you hit a chest off of a little squeak like that, where you actually can't pick up chests at all, so you have to be careful.
Yeah. Oops.
Oh, hello.
What?
Oh! Okay.
Where am I? I get
careful.
toasted by that guy all the time.
If you actually go against the slope, that's the ceiling there, the slant the ceiling, you won't get toasted by him at all.
So when you, not only like for going through loading zones, but also if you inhale an ability, you have a little bit of invulnerability. So I just use that to slide into that lava waterfall thing. Go this way. Just to get myself in position. Thank you. Alright, so one funny thing is that your movement also impacts the movement of these guys here. So for example, Spinny just got toasted there for moving the wrong way. And this is actually a crucial idea in a later level in this world. Alright, so this is sort of the mini boss rush. Oops. I need to be careful here.
Ooh, yes, this works. Let's go. I'm so ready for this.
We've seen this fight pretty much already. Oh, dodge.
See ya, bonkers.
And basically each ability you use to get another chest. Alright, good luck there.
You can just barely squeeze past him there if you were. But you shouldn't do that because you need Hamill's ability right here.
Yeah, this is what I mean by like sometimes awkward choices. Animal's not a very strong ability, but you like have to use it for this mini boss.
Imagine them just flying something, a giant metal ball like that over and over.
That
sounds really painful.
So once again, we're abusing the fact that we can just simply carry stuff in. And the reason for that is just because walking around with metal is really, really slow. So the fact that we're able to abuse that mechanic where you can go through doors without losing what's in your mouth is really, really helpful.
Also, you fight Spade at the end here properly if you get all the chests. But if you don't have all the chests, you actually find Mr. Frosty instead.
Right.
That's what you do in 8% at least.
Yeah.
Seems a lot of little small neat quirks like that, just hidden throughout it. Depending if you go for completionist, or if you just like go through the game normally. Try normally, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Alright, so since I have wheel, I don't have to do the other 2 enemy mix. So just pull through everything.
Just get this run rolling. It's been really good so far.
Wow.
Sorry.
Alright, so another chest hidden in this room here. I need to be careful not to hit this switch because it'll destroy the platform. What the heck?
The heck? Oh,
What a strong Waddle Dee.
What a strong boy.
Yeah. Alright, this is not really much of a thing. You have to get there before the door closes, but you can even do this without an ability, so it's really not tight on timing whatsoever.
This game is honestly like probably one of the easiest Kirby games out there. There's so much health everywhere, and there's stuff like that where the only challenge is if you don't have an ability and try to get that chest.
And having an ability like wheel for going through that fire part right there is also really helpful. Otherwise, you have to take a windy path to get to the top of that room.
Just because it's easy though doesn't mean it's not fun. Kirby games are known for their challenge a lot of time, and they're known for having just be more fun, and this game's no exception. Yeah. It's also a really fun speedrun too. Oh, it's this one.
Alright, so I'm gonna do a crouch cancel here, just because I have to wait for these like pillars of lava anyways. Oops.
Oh.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna switch to hammer anyways.
Perfect.
Yeah, one way I can also cancel the faceplant animation is to just switch abilities by using a bubble. When you inhale an ability, or discard I guess, the game thinks you're standing for like a little bit of time. So that's why it cancels the fall. Alright, so this is where I'm going to try to get manipulated spinning to take damage again. Alright, nice. Oh, but she grabbed it anyways.
The chest is actually really tight to get if you don't manipulate spinning there, because she's like right where the tunnel is, and just like right in front of there. Most of the time, if you're not careful, or actually most of the time in general, she'll get it anyways inside there. You have to do a whole mini boss fight to actually get the chest back.
Yeah, so if they manage to get back to their base, you have to do a long fight just to get your chest. Alright, so this is probably my least favorite boss in the game.
Same.
This is Bobo. This is this big owl, and you don't really have space to do a candy mix. Oops, I messed that up.
Ideally for this fight, you want Bobo to go into the grounds, so that you can get a fire tornado and do more damage. Right. And also because it gets a long animation where you just hurt Bobo over and over again.
But one annoying thing is that Bobo can go into the background. and that wastes a lot of time.
Oh yeah,
just
a
like
lot of time.
Oops, I almost lost my ability.
But we can also do the same, literally the same attack again, but just like turn around, which is really annoying too.
Alright, this
That's what we want
was
to happen if that happens.
a poor fight, but that's okay.
To have time for a couple donations.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, just want to let everybody know that we did hit over $4,000.
Nice.
Great job. Do you notice how Shasta's magically better? Like, we weren't kidding.
Yeah, I can speak again.
And it was a $65 donation from Mr. Cab that took us over the hump.
Yo.
And he says colors.
Colors.
He put it towards brown, which has a $1 lead right now.
Oh, nice.
If you don't want brown, then $2
There
at
you go.
least.
At least. And we also had a $50 donation from JLD. He says, yo, good luck on the rest of the run, SK. Also put this towards White Kirby because I'm with Shasta on this one.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
You can actually put that donation to yourself. So we have the polls that you can donate for on Tiltify itself. So you can just put it towards anything you want to on the page itself.
Reminder again, bid war ends after his run. That's when Kirby Air Raid is. So get donations in for that bid war.
Alright, so I got lucky and got yet another wheel. And that allows me to go through the next 3 levels really quickly.
Oh, hey, you did. Nice.
Marathon luck.
I swear.
And so important thing here to pick up. Invincibility candy in this chest. Or in this barrel, I guess.
Do you use that for Meta Knight or for DeRoche?
Meta Knight.
That's what I figured. It's just too good not to use.
Yeah. Oh shoot, I've got no inventory. Hold on. This is bad.
Oh.
Oh no! That was really stupid on my part.
It's okay. This is what we were talking about before. There's always Squeak spawn, and then you just have to do that. Also, if you get a little interesting quirk again about the enemies, is that if you get hit by one of the I don't remember the Squeak squad or like one of the Squeak enemies, you lose your chest. You lose your chest every time you get hits. But if you get hit by a regular enemy, you don't lose the chest at all. The other thing is you have to wait for them to explode before you get next to these areas.
Right.
It overall wastes just a lot of time, unfortunately.
That was ugly. Dang.
Oh well, it happens.
Oh well. Yeah.
That's what you get for having good marathon luck.
Yeah.
You get
I
Patrick
totally
Player's
deserve
achievement
that.
instead.
No, but I should have. What I should have done instead, I should have freed up my inventory space a little bit earlier. But, oh well.
Best song, by the way.
Oops.
I remember as it runs this game, I always be quiet on purpose during this level because I like the music too much.
Alright. Unfortunately, I don't remember how to go through this with wheel. That's good.
Gets her right there.
Alright, that didn't go so bad.
That's still good.
Yeah. So what happens is that normally you'd be going through this area with Tornado if you didn't get the wheel mix, which is a lot simpler to do. Alright, whatever. Get out of here.
Sometimes Spinny will stay at the very bottom of that room and just try to attack you with a little ninja shuriken. And if she does that, it makes it a lot easier, but if she doesn't, it'd be a little bit tricky in that chest before she does.
Yeah, luckily I had wheels, so that was actually just like, makes it a lot easier than using Tornado.
Oh yeah.
Because you can stop the wheel whenever you want, it just makes sort of those windy corridors a lot easier. Alright, so the hammer bubble I picked up, what was it? And 5 extra is used just for this right here.
That takes about a minute because it's actually Hair Bubble a few rooms away from where SK just was. So it saves a lot of time because otherwise like there wouldn't be another Hammer Bubble on the way to get because they're pretty rare to get in the first place.
One other way
There's no actual hammer in me as well.
Yeah. So one other way you could do that is to use a metal bubble. And so before, like back in the day, like we would consider using metal for that switch little like wooden peg thing as well. But I want to say that hammer is the better thing to do. So world record holder is this Japanese runner named Cabbage, and he actually mixes for a hammer in this level, which to me is just like too insane of a strat. So like, 2 enemy mix. If you inhale 2 enemies that have abilities, you can. It's another kind of mix that we didn't see in this run. But the precision to inhale the 2 enemies that he tries to go for is not worth it to me. Right, so this is bubble. So as you can see, I'm making bubbles out of enemies. I'm actually gonna pick up both of these. Fire just for a little bit of movement right here.
So real quick, we did get a $20 anonymous donation saying Team Pink for the win. And that puts Pink in the lead by $19 over Brown. So got about 20 to 25 minutes or so before we're going to close this poll off. So if you do want your color in, get your donations in now.
I think Team Brown should stage a comeback. That's what I'm saying.
Agreed.
Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Whatever. Alright, this is sort of a new strat here. So normally you have to go around and cut it, but you can actually just final cutter straight into the chest. And the way that chests work in this game is because it's something that you pick up and it's not something you open. You're able to do that even though you don't really have any control during your final cutter animation. Oops. No, give me that. I screwed up all the spacing pretty much.
Thankfully, there's a switch right there. It just takes that store immediately.
Yeah.
So as we move on next to the level. Saves entire fights in a lot of seconds.
Yeah, so that unlocks the key for the extra level, but I'm actually going to go into 6-5 first. I don't know.
What's going on?
So ideally, I would try to mix for candy, except I don't remember the timing for it.
Oh. I don't remember either, actually.
I'm pretty sure I do it differently than everyone else, so I'm just gonna guess. Nope. Is that close?
Yeah, I think it was 3 off.
I have no idea.
If I remember correctly, the Kirby was like 3 off.
Whatever. So that candy, if I were to get the mix, I would use it on the road, but guess not.
Yeah.
That's fine. Just use Tornado.
Tornado is really good too.
Yeah, so
Especially if you use Ice Tornado.
Storo falling asleep. Wastes about 4 seconds. So you're fighting each of the 3 Squeak kind of mini bosses. Doc. This is Doc.
That's the UFO.
Spinny and Sora. So the main one, their main leader of the Squeak Squad. I guess we haven't really spoken much about the story about this game. So basically, the whole story starts with someone stealing Kirby's cake.
Strawberry shortcake.
Yeah.
Very precious.
And I don't know.
Kirby's just trying to get back.
Is it really known who actually stole it?
Not until the end of the game. It just kind of swipes out of nowhere by some sort of black shadow in the intro of the game.
I see. And so it's basically this whole like fight that Kirby's been having with the Squeak Squad.
Yeah, he first thought it was Dee who stole it, so he went to Dee, and then it turns out
beat the crap out of him for no reason.
Yep. then the Squeak Squad comes through the wall. It's like, hey, we're evil, come fight us. And Kirby thinks that they stole his cake. They're wrong. Then you'll see in World 6 here that it's actually spoiler alerts for a minute from now. Turns out they didn't actually steal it. It was Meta Knight, supposedly. So you fight Meta Knight in World 7. And then spoiler after that, Turns out there's some higher evil power in World 8 that supposedly has a shortcake. But we'll see. That's
Yeah.
I think it's more important to stop the end of the world first.
True.
So we're gonna try and do that.
It's probably the higher power that gave you the sickness.
Probably. It was Dark Nebula. Damn you.
Yeah, so once again, just like a simple stun lock. The only way to actually get out of the level is to finish off spinning. So normally you like just sort of run to the exit, but in some levels you have to actually defeat them in order to advance. Alright. So now we're on DeRoach.
This tornado is really good for the Roach
Yeah.
because his hitbox works really where like it lets him damage really quickly like this. You just gotta hurt him over and over like that.
Alright, good pattern here.
Ideally, like he will teleport around randomly like that. Just move around whenever he wants to. Ideally, you want to be towards the grounds and like close to you because you can get Ice Tornado off the bomb here, which gives a bigger hitbox and more damage as well. That's good.
Alright.
For whatever reason, the chest also spawns really quickly after the fights. To any other bosses in the game.
So even these chests, you have to have inventory space for them, otherwise you wouldn't be able to pick them up. Yeah. Alright, so now we're on to World 7, the Secret Sea.
So secret. Don't tell anyone.
Is it this? Wait, so has DeRoche been corrupted yet? I don't know.
No, not until World 7. Afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, because the chest that Kirby's gonna open after any of World 7 has like Dark Nebula inside of it.
Okay.
That gets corrupted.
I see. Alright. So Meta Knight steals some chests.
You just find some sort of chest somewhere out there and you steal it.
Once again, Kirby still thinks that that chest contains his cake.
That's what he's after in the end.
So
He's just hungry.
Yeah, so right now Kirby is going after Meta Knight because now he thinks Meta Knight has stolen his cake.
It's a very deep plot, as you can tell.
World 7 has a lot of water, and it's a little bit tricky because you can't inhale underwater, so if you lose your ability, it's pretty much gone. And of course, like every single time you take damage, you're losing your ability.
That's crouch cancel.
Best strat here.
Oh!
Yeah, you can
I didn't know about that.
You can hit Storo through the wall like that.
That's so funny.
Oh, I got wheel, nice.
Oh, cool.
Where's the chest?
Was it like 7 wheels?
Yeah, it's like seven. Yeah,
So-
7 wheels now or something.
There's been a lot just of randomly getting wheels like that.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of this run. You get free metal bubble right here, which is actually useful for its level too. Or actually, no, it's for next level.
Yeah.
After this one, never mind. You're supposed to use metal bubble right here against the next chest, but it's there's another way you can to do it basically.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna slide, and if Kirby's in the right part of his walk cycle, he'll just fall right in.
Like just like that.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna throw away the Mel bubble.
Oh,
I don't actually want it.
that's fair.
The reason why is because in 80% you don't need to have fire for 7-3, but
Oh yeah, true.
in this one you do. Crab mini boss again.
Giant enemy crab.
And the thing about the crab mini boss is that if you get 5 hits off of it, it turns the bubbles disappear and it starts running on the ground. So that fight went okay, I guess. Alright, so this is where I'm gonna start using fire.
Unfortunately, as soon as you pick up a bubble, you have to wait until it actually bounces and
Yeah,
stops in place to use it.
Finishes settling in Kirby's stomach. And we need fire for breaking through these clouds, in particular getting this chest right here.
Yeah, right here, Doc. It's our chest.
Alright, I have an important update.
Yep.
We have a $100 anonymous donation that
Wow.
says we shall have Yellow.
Oh, yellow.
Yellow
So-
Kirby.
Yellow is in the lead now at $175.
Interesting
$55 lead over Pink,
I
with
did-
Brown at 101.
Let me just say, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, same. That was awesome. Well, if anyone wants pink, That's Kirby's natural color. I'm sure it's someone else's favorite color out there as well. I say, if you want that, go for it. It's $56.
Alright, having fire here is just useful for a couple things.
It's supposed to be like a race to the bottom here, but thankfully, if you move correctly, you'll way outspeed Spinny every single time.
Yeah.
And also, you manipulate his movement, so he just stands there. Goes horizontally for a second.
Didn't even come after me. That was pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah.
And we also had a $40 donation from Trojan Dude. It says, hey,
Yo.
Kelethon. Thank you again for letting me showcase Ori last night. Here's my donation for the failed tricks and for my Nairo optimizations at the end. This marathon has been awesome sauce. Thank you, Trojan.
Awesome sauce. I missed that term.
It's a good term.
Definitely.
Alright, so this is a crucial bubble that I don't want to miss. Or sorry, chest that I don't want to miss. There's this chest sitting right there, and there's a switch, and I have to race it down to the bottom.
It's actually a little bit tight.
Yeah.
We got.
Yeah, alright.
If it
Scary
goes, if it
part
goes off
one.
screen, then
Yeah, you
you have to
gotta
restart the
restart.
whole level.
Yeah, scary part number 1 avoided.
These little floors as well will just kind of magnet your feet to the bottom if you start like swimming up towards it. You have to be careful of that if you want to go a little faster.
Yeah.
Optimizations and all that. Is it wheel time?
No.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
actually saving this wheel until the very end.
Okay. Forget it fire for a second. It's also really good here.
Yeah. It's not really a big deal if you don't have an ability. It's a lot of tight rooms anyways.
For sure. It's just a little bit faster.
Oh, I want to be cool.
That's weird. It's like when we're on top of it.
And mysterious fire and like beam hitboxes and whatnot.
Oh.
What the heck? I don't need it anymore. Get out of here.
Oh yeah, true, because 7.5 that's the thing.
Yes.
7.5 is probably the easiest single-purpose level.
Yeah.
Whereas one chest inside of it, it's only an idiot for people to just get that chest. So there's a wheel right here. Don't crash.
Don't crash.
That's all you have to do. It's
Alright.
pretty simple because if you know how to do this ideally, you just jump twice. Like right there and no, actually 4 times.
4 times. But if you know the layout,
2 times 2.
is in theory very simple, but even knowing the layout, I have messed it up before.
Oh
So-
yeah. It happens. It's one of those things.
Yeah. Alright, so now we're on to 7 extra.
This is also a funny level.
Lots of forks, a lot of trial and error, I guess.
Thankfully, this level's short enough where even casually just trialing and erroring it like this is not too bad.
Yeah. Oops, I have no idea where I'm going.
That's not the right way.
Okay, so now I need to press the right switch there.
Oh, that is the right way. That's right. It's right here. Yeah.
So all those doors, like you have to go into that sequence of doors, otherwise you will miss a chest. And floating up there, it seems weird. Like normally I like do wheel jumps and like run to the wall and stuff like that, but it's all to manipulate Storo's movement so he's not blocking the door. Alright. So this is
Now it's midnight
Meta
time.
Knight time. I'm gonna pick up a sword here, not to use it on Meta Knight.
That'd be your honorable thing to do.
No, I'm just gonna cheese him.
So like you mentioned earlier, Invincibility Cane is very, very good. Minutes hitbox
Moving.
allows for a lot for him to get hurt a lot. Unfortunately, see right here, that's gonna get destroyed
okay,
by luck.
Here we go.
And
There
bam.
we go.
It's actually
Ideally you just want Meta Knight to stand in the same spot the entire time.
he can just stand still as well too, but he decided not to.
Yeah. But whatever, still killed him in the span of the invincibility candy, so
Yep.
whatever.
So here's where Dark Nebula comes out. We go to World 8.
Yeah, so it turns out Meta Knight was just protecting everyone from Dark Nebula, but Kirby destroys him. And now
All in the name of cake.
yeah, now Kirby now needs to save the whole world, or the whole universe.
It's a very noble cause.
Yeah. Sneak pass here. Oop. Ideally, you're supposed to use those barrels to hide from the Gordos, but you don't need to do that.
Oh yeah, the free invincible K there. That's what I did a detour.
Alright, another skip here. Supposed to blow fire, but I'm just gonna skip
I didn't know
those.
about that either.
Alright, use wheel here. Pick up this chest.
This last one is pretty hard. Has a pretty hard movement of wheel. Not sure if you're gonna go for it.
No.
That's what I figured.
No.
It's like nearly frame perfect to get these wheel jumps. To go on these top platforms instead of the bottom platforms, stopping to like get a wheel and all that. It's crazy.
I'm more concerned about this chest. So I do a safe thing where after I knock it off of spinning, it just comes to a rest on the platform. And so that's just like a simple visual cue. You can do the super risky thing is like the chest is like falling off like into the abyss and you grab it as it's falling, but that's too scary for me. Yeah, and that part Shasta was referring to, like this part where you can just sort of wheel continuously all the way until the end of the level, but also once again too scary for me.
It's very scary. Well, you know what they say, I like to live dangerously. Time for all the wheel jumps in the world now.
All the wheel jumps. Oops.
This wheel breaks these blocks, you just go on top with wheel.
Ah. What? That's nonsense.
That was kind of
I
BS.
don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that either. I was gonna agree if you're disagreement there. That'd be confusing if I said that though. If you flow up through those water blocks here, you just kind of maintain being your flowing animation and don't get stopped at the water at all. It's a little interesting to note.
Oh, okay.
However, you can't go downwards while you're doing that. You only go upwards because of buoyancy.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it's water blocks.
Alright, 3 chests. Very simple. And throughout the course of this run, we've been collecting like secret map pieces and also this thing called ghost metal, and we actually finished both of those in this level.
So you're gonna see a few cutscenes because of this.
Yeah.
Ghost
Kirby's a
Metal's for
ghost.
it's basically a post-game thing where if you go back and fight some mini bosses, it'll instead be replaced by his ghost enemy, and once he defeats him, you get the ghost Kirby power, which is best enemies, and also can be used to do a clip at its next level. Surprisingly enough,
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not useful for speedruns.
it's not, but it's cool. It's funny to show off at least.
Alright, so I'm gonna grab this laser bolt.
Also, really quickly, the secret map we unlocks an area where you get all the where you scale all the powers in the game wherever you want to. It's nice for a speedrun though because it just takes too long to go back there.
Yeah, it's very useful for practicing.
Oh, very useful practice.
Alright.
Keep here.
As if you needed any more convincing that this was really melee.
Yeah. Those short hot double lasers over there.
Oops.
Alright, using a lot of this ammo drill.
Yeah. So
Just get his chest all the way down the bottom of the room.
one quirk about this game, and I guess I want to say the other Game Boy, like the Game Boy Advance Kirby's, is that it's very easy to get into running speed in the air. And so if you if you're in running speed and you do the like side B thing, you do like that thing where Kirby dives instead of doing the drill. And so doing the drill is actually kind of like doing the sideways drill is actually kind of annoying because you need to make sure that you're not in like that aerial running speed before doing it.
You never use drill, you have to press back before you actually deactivate it for whatever reason. It's a little bit strange.
Yeah, it's kind of finicky, but man, that's how it is.
Here's the only basic major break of the run. It's like 15 seconds though. Just going through his crystals. These crystal shards.
Real quick, just want to let everybody know that the bid war for Kirby's Color and Kirby Air Ride is closing soon. So Yellow's got that $55 lead, 175 to Pink at 120 and Brown's at 101. So get your donations in if you want a color other than yellow.
I recommend it.
Do you
Nothing
recommend
wrong, nothing
yellow?
wrong with yellow.
Nothing wrong with yellow.
But like, other colors are cool too.
I like brown.
I like brown too. I'm a fan of the default pink as well. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's true.
It's iconic, you know?
Okay, weird order here. What? I missed.
Rip. I'm fine with wheel. It's
That's
easier
fine.
than you think it would be.
That's fine.
Alright, so final boss time coming up over here.
So I should have 118 chests at this point.
Weirdly enough, the last two chests you get from seeing the final two bosses, we can actually collect them.
Yeah. Just sort of randomly get them.
Yep. That's
Let's
full
see.
hearts as well. Now you have
118.
Mega HP.
Alright, we're just gonna run into Dark the Road. What? You do something useful.
Oh no. This is really awful luck. And he doesn't teleport. And he teleports away. What?
I got one hit with invincibility candy.
That's really unfortunate. So that's what we're talking about after Road. She's complete luck where he goes. And that can happen if he gets really unlucky. Oh,
Wow.
there goes Wheel. I should try Parasol.
Alright.
Oh, there was a tornado.
Alright.
Works too.
Wow. Seriously, I've
What is
never
this luck?
gotten this unlucky on this fight before.
If he does that attack, you can use Whale them right there. In case of Invincibility Candy, he does quite so much damage as Tornado. So, yeah. That was really doubtful luck. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Nah, it's fine.
Oh, UFO.
UFO. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that.
Use 1 to defeat Dark Nebula. Just for fun.
Just for fun. All right.
Yep.
Sure.
Let's go.
Man, I've never been owned so hard.
I've never been owned, period. Never in my life.
Never in your life. Okay.
You might want to shield, by the way.
Yeah, but ideally, Dark DeRoche finishes very, very quickly because you just run into him with the invincibility candy. You should die. Unfortunately, he did not.
Yep. Same goes with regular Deroche as well.
I didn't need to do that. Whatever. I'll use Cutter for most of this.
I really want to use Cutter for the final boss. It's just a constant for all categories in the game.
Yeah. How did I end up back down here?
Whoa. Oh, yes. Oh, nice. Get rid of it. If that giant fireball hit the ground, it just caused like a lot of fire on the ground and a giant pillar of fire in the middle of the area. So good thing I rid of it in the end. And one more
Exactly.
hits. Oh, almost got it in time. Yo, swag. I get destroyed by going near it? That works too. It gives me the spark as well.
Yeah. Alright, so
Alright.
time is coming up soon after this fades to white.
What? I've never seen
I've never
that
seen this
before.
before in my life. Alright, and time.
Time.
Alright, 1:30.
That was hilarious. I've seriously never seen it before in my life. I've played this game for, I've run this game for like 4 years now. That's crazy.
Yeah, let's see, 113.47.
Also, we get a strawberry shortcake in the end.
Yeah.
100% complete.
Yeah. All right, that was Kirby Squeak Squad.
If you want to, you can show off some stuff you get for 100% in this game. Just have a little bit of time.
Oh, okay, sure. So one thing you can do is you can play extra mode, which is sort of like a speed run kind of mode where you go through the levels and there's an in-game timer, but there are some issues with that, which is why we don't normally speed run with it.
For one, after each level, timer counts on every single time, and it just wastes a lot of time in the end.
Yeah.
Just every.
Yeah. One thing about the in-game time is that it rounds down after you beat a level.
Oh, that's a
So
problem.
that's weird. So one thing you can do is that you can select different Kirby colors.
I like the snow one personally,
Yeah, or
because
you
it gives like kabuki makeup basically.
Yeah. You can also change the GUI.
There's some puzzles too. It's like
Yeah.
4 of them, I think.
Yeah, there is strawberry shortcake is like the last chest that you get, and there's also like the secret. I don't know, it's like various graphics. But yeah, so that was Squeak Squad 100%. Thanks Shasta for co-commentating.
Oh, my
this with me.
pleasure. I love this game.
And thanks Calathon for having me.
Sweet. It's okay. We're done. We're
Yeah,
okay.